Hi, this is the review of the orderIT trading system for January the 12th, 2021. We had 3 trades on that day. 2 were identified as buys, and 1 was identified as short sell. First trade is CLR. That is Continental Resources Incorporated. It tripped at 2086. It was a buy. It closed the day at 2056. It was though up 6.71%. And so 605. Now look, it tripped right at its high point, then it came down, then made a recovery at the day, but never came up above its tripping price. So we'll have to check to see if the indicators are showing any kind of aspect of possible trade after the fact. So OBV, it was moving up, down after the movie, so technically it was moving up. It just happens to be that drop it had in the early afternoon. MACD again up in the morning, down, and up for the rest of the afternoon. So that was showing pretty much up. Interestingly enough, DI showing up in the morning, but actually showing very negative in the afternoon. So it actually was very much heavily down DI-wise, making a recovery in the day. So interesting. Bollinger Band is showing though that it was dropping in the afternoon with that recovery at the end of the day. I'm going to make this a possible just because of the fact it's making a recovery. Its upward climb for the day was 6.71%, so it actually had a good upward climb. We just happened to catch it on its rise. Obviously, you can see that it opened up high. So it happened to be it opened up high, and we caught it during one of its push points. All the V was going up too. Anyways, next trade is ADI, and that is Analog Devices Incorporated. It took to 12:06 p.m. at a price of 724. It was a short sell. It closed the day at 159.09, up 0.50%. So ended the day up. You can see the end of the day it was moving up. Ooh, let's see, 1220, yeah, look, it tripped down here, it tripped, you can see, look, it tripped right at the bottom of this downward trend and just recovered, so that's not going to be a possible, I don't think, at all. OBV, not so much drastically wise. It was showing pretty much positive for the whole afternoon and the morning. MACD, you can see that drop that occurred and then recovered. And same thing with DI. DI had that drop and then recovered. Even though it was as much, negative, it was actually 2 points. You can see MACD was even showing that downward trend. So it was 2 downward points that was occurring. Nothing extensive, so nothing getting it back down to the point it was at. Bollinger Band's not really showing drastic. It did drop, but for the most part stayed steady for the stock itself, so that's a non-positive. It has to be the system itself caught it dropping heavily during that point. MACD caught it, OBV, everything was showing it moving negative at that particular point. Definitely that's the way that stock was moving. Next trade is DGLY. Digital Ally Incorporated. It tripped at 12:35:05 p.m. at a price of 304. It was a buy trade. It closed the day at 298, down 2.93. Good enough is that it's showing a recovery at the opening, so we could say at least there's possibility here. I'm just laughing because the system itself is showing somewhat a positive kind of trending, which is somewhat the first time this occurred in my demonstration videos to see if there's any kind of opportunity down here with this particular stock. 1235. So I tripped around here, came back up. 303. 306. Okay. I'm going to say here within this period between 246 and 360, whatever, there was a period of time when there was multiple points where it was above its tripping price, and there wasn't much really above that. So there was this little point here, end of the day, it actually dropped again. I'm going to consider it a positive, not a strong positive, but there was possibilities of getting out. And that shows that only 1 out of 3 stocks shows a positive result, which is 33%. If I consider the possible trade together, that'd be 2 out of 3. That brings up to 66%. With only 3 stocks, obviously you don't have much time, much variance, obviously, with the amount of stocks. This just happened to be not a good day. Usually, in general, I'll say at the end of the day it was a good day, but this was just not a good day. The stocks themselves were just not very active. And I didn't take a look at this last stock to see if it's showing any kind of movement. OBV was showing that it was moving up and then dropped in the afternoon. MACD up, up. MACD is actually showing a lot of good upward movement. That end of day drop. VI showing this last trade was a strong trade. It just happened to be the end of the day. It dropped, and you can see early morning it's recovering again. So I think there's a lot of recovery. It just dropped by 5 cents just after last lock. So there's a little bit of a struggling going on with that. There was opportunity. It wasn't extensive, wasn't strong, obviously. So that ends the day. It wasn't a great day, unfortunately, for this day. So I'll leave it at that. That just happens to be consequences of trading stock. The market yesterday also was a bit of a quirky market. It was down and up. The main indicators were showing that the 2 main Dow and Dow and Nasdaq indicators were showing upwards and downwards. It was actually a good portion of the day was actually down. I think it recovered at the end of the day. So I think this is just a consequence of just being a very poor day across the board for the markets. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.